vegetables. Yuck! It's probably the most common reaction when you try to feed a child a wholesome meal. But luckily for us, today we have someone who can help us overcome this tendency with a little bit of persistence and some creativity. Today we're here with Tricel Guzman, author of Yummy Mommy, Healthy Cooking for Your Picky Eater. And she's going to tell us all about how she came up with this book. Hi Tricel, thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thank you for inviting me.
Okay, so we all know that it's so hard to feed kids nowadays, especially when they start to know what they want and what they don't want, right?
Yes.
And sometimes what they like to eat is not necessarily what's best for them.
Yes.
So tell us a little bit more about how you started this book first.
As you can see, it's called Healthy Cooking for Your Picky Eater. It's a very unique and highly niche concept of a cookbook, primarily targeting moms with picky eaters or fussy kids when it comes to their food. Now, why picky eaters? Because this was really inspired by my daughter, who was a picky eater from day one.
Discussing about that, and
Yes.
you said she actually never liked to eat.
Wow, that was one of the most stressful and frustrating experience as a parent. From day one of eating solid foods, she didn't like food. Honestly, I thought there was a part of her brain that didn't register eating as pleasurable.
Oh my goodness.
It seemed like torture for her to eat.
It's so easy for us to eat, right? I mean, it's unfathomable that you have, someone who doesn't like to eat. Right?
And what's more, I love to cook and I cook everything for her, and then it ends up getting thrown in the trash can.
Oh.
Anyway, in my effort to help her with her eating obstacles, to just come up with answers for why is she picky, why doesn't she want food, I researched, I browsed the internet, I asked tips from other friends, and apparently from my research, it's a very common problem among parents.
Do you have any tips for that to help them overcome this picky eating?
Just go and give it a try, don't give up, try and try, because usually in the end, she ends up eating it.
Yes.
If I had given up early on, I would have missed that precious meal. Just constantly expose them to that particular food. Research says that it takes at least 15 or 20 times for a kid to like a certain food. Just constantly expose them, and exposing doesn't necessarily mean eating it or putting it in their mouth.
One of Tricel's tips is to work with what your children already love to eat.
Cook with something that your child already likes. Like with my daughter, luckily she loves fruits, a lot of fruits, so I had something to start with. But then that time she was only eating fruits, so that wasn't enough. So I had something to start with, so that's why a lot of the recipes here have fruits in them and also vegetables. So work with something that your child already likes.
So can you tell us where we can find your book?
Okay, this one is available in national bookstores and Power Books nationwide, and it's published by Anvil Publishing.
Okay, wonderful. Well, now you're actually going to show us a couple of recipes for the mommies out there. So are we making one or two recipes today? Two recipes?
Two easy recipes.
Okay, I'm looking forward. Shall we go to the kitchen now?
Okay.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, so this is actually for breakfast, right?
It can be for breakfast, it can be for snack. It's a peanut butter jelly French toast.
Alright, so what do we have here? We have
our peanut butter here, and then our milk, splash of milk, which we'll add to our egg, and then the butter to slather on the bread, and also the jelly.
And then this is vanilla.
Vanilla and cinnamon are optional. You can add that to the milk. What we're gonna do first is slather on the peanut butter on one side. I'm slathering on the jam on the other bread, other half of the bread. So we just put them together, okay, like a sandwich. We're gonna cut them into sticks. We crack the egg, add a splash of milk, your vanilla. We now dip the French toast into the egg mixture.
Okay, so now we have a different recipe. This is a soup.
Yes, it's called hearty malunggay corn soup. Here we have our stock, and then onion, 1 piece of garlic clove, some malunggay leaves, cream, and this one is from the white corn. Then we start off with the garlic and the onion. Just sweat the vegetables. And then we add the white corn and about 2.5 cups of chicken stock or vegetable stock. And then we wait for this to thicken. Then we add the malunggay leaves last.
Okay, so this looks really, really good. And what's great is it's also nutritious, right? So, is it yummy? Let's see.
And I've never met a kid who doesn't like this.
For moms, all you have to do is to be creative and a little bit persistent. So with some patience and a little bit of pushing day by day, you'll come out with a healthy eater who is happy and adventurous.